This is chapter 4 entitled Character. 4:1 The acts by which we live and the attitudes by which we act must be clear beyond question. Principles alone aren't able to endow our deeds with force and meaning. Let us be true to what we believe, that our beliefs may serve and honor us. 4:3 Do not be the victims of temporary contentment and petty satisfactions. Aspire for worthwhile aims that shall be ideals for a succeeding generation. 4:4 Feel the needs of others more than your own. 4:6 Learn not only formal education but also a self-discipline that should be worth inheriting. 4:7 Self-discipline. 4:7 As a father should bequeath not only wealth to their children, but also provide them with proper education so that they may have a richer and fuller life. So should it be the duty of those for whom much has been done to show gratitude. 4:8 Let us not recoil in hatred against those who, even while protesting their freedom from bias and prejudice, reveal by their actions that the poison of discrimination has left its lasting effects, and by this reaction reveal that we, no less than they, are susceptible to that virus which is called intolerance. That's beautiful. 4:9 One seldom minimizes the value of money earned by the sweat of the brow, however small it may be, but for the extravagant, even a huge amount of money is worthless. 4:10 Whenever conflict arises between material and spiritual values, the conscience plays an important role, and anyone who suffers from a guilty conscience is never free from this problem until they make peace with their conscience. 4:11 It is only natural for humans to strive towards a better life, to wish to educate their children while they themselves were uneducated, to desire to shelter and clothe them while they themselves are naked and scourged by the elements, to strive to spare them from the cruel diseases by which they themselves were ravished. 4:12 When these ends, striving towards a better life, are realized at the expense of others, at the cost of their degradation and poverty, these desires, which are not intrinsically immoral or pernicious in themselves, must be frustrated, and the means by which these otherwise legitimate ends are sought to be attained must be scorned or shunned. 4:13 That which does not that which does not give respite is the feeling of guilty conscience. 4:14 I have lived too long to cherish many illusions about the essential high-mindedness of humans when brought into stark confrontations with issues of control over their security and their property interests. 4:16 Where are we to look for survival, for the answers to the questions which have never before been posed? We must look first to the Almighty, who has raised humans above the animals and endowed them with the intelligence and reason. We must put our faith in Thee, that Thy will not desert us or permit us to destroy humanity, which Thy created in Thy image. 4:17 We must look into ourselves, into the depths of our souls. We must become something we have never been, and for which our education and experience and environment have ill prepared us. We must become bigger than we have ever been, more courageous, greater in spirit, larger in outlook. We must become members of a new race, overcoming petty prejudice, owing our ultimate allegiance not to the nations, but to our fellow humans within the human community. 4:18 Unless we find the requisite Yeah. So unless we find the requisite courage and fixity. I can't, man. A purpose to rise above our petty selves, we shall be broken on the will of our own inventions, slaves of our own disposition. 419. The spirit of Ham is deserving of the greatness of Ham. The spirit of Ham is deserving of the greatness which Ham demands of it. Let us prove ourselves worthy of it. 420. He who suffers conquers and is a final resort wins the crown of victory. 421. Place principle above all else. Liberation.